Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone today? I'm gonna try that again, because I don't think everybody was listening yet. But we'll get there. How is everyone today? Fantastic. Welcome to Unity of Tucson. I'm Reverend Jonathan Zenz, the senior minister at this glorious spiritual community, where we come together as a spiritual family every single Sunday to celebrate love. And so if it is in your heart to celebrate today and you feel and are able to stand up and dance with us as we open ourselves in song, please feel free to do so. And there are some lyrics that I want you to pay attention to. We're gonna invite you to do something here, okay? Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the light in you. Feel the love you were born to be. Lift your voice, repeat after me. We come together. 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 We come together in the name of love. We come together. 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 We come together in the name of love. Hey, that's Charlie Hall.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I love you, me, and love you too. For the love you're born to be. Lift your voice, repeat after me.
Here we go. We come together.
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 We come together
in the name of love. We come together.
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 We come together
in the name of love. In every walk of life.
Every walk of life.
In every creed and color.
Every creed and color.
In kinship we unite.
Kinship we unite.
To honor the light in each other.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I love you too. Feel the love you were born to be. Lift your voice and repeat after me.
We come together.
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 We come together
in the name of love. We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
Woo! Yeah, it's a good way to start the day, don't you think? So I mentioned that this was Charlie Hall. This is Alexander Lionheart. Grateful to have you both celebrating today. I'm grateful to have you here celebrating today, this beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Once again, welcome, welcome, welcome. As I said, we are a spiritual community. What I have not said yet, though, is that we are here to offer practical tools, and engaging practical tools from a spiritual perspective, I think, creates a better life for ourselves. And so if you are willing to take up these practical tools in your life, put them to use in your life, what I believe, notice I said what I believe. I'm not going to tell you what you believe. But what I believe is that your life will get better. Excuse me. That's really attractive, isn't it? Yes. If you have a smartphone, one of the things we've been doing lately is I've been inviting people to take out their smartphones, which I know is a shocking thing. You're asking me to take my phone out in church? Yeah, and if you would go to YouTube or Facebook or to our website where we are streaming live, there's chat functions in all those places. And I would love for you who are in the room to reach out and say hello to everybody who's watching online. And I'm so grateful that you who are out there watching online are joining us this morning, or whenever you're watching. Grateful to have you as part of this community. And then when you're complete with that, just make sure your ringer's off, and we will continue on. And here's one thing that I want to let you know. I offer this every single week, and I kind of touched on it just a moment ago, and that is, you may not believe everything you hear today. That's a definite possibility. But I do think that you're going to hear something that you will believe. And what our purpose here is to allow ourselves to look at the beliefs that we are carrying in our hearts and in our minds and understand that our beliefs are creating our experience. So your lives are showing up based on your beliefs. So if some belief is not working for you, well, that's something to look at, because you may want to consider taking that belief and tossing it into the dustbin and saying, I'm done with you. I'm choosing something new today. And if something touches your heart and you do believe it, celebrate that too. It's not just about getting rid of that stuff. It's about celebrating the truth of our being as well. We carry a vision and a mission here at this particular spiritual center, and I would love for you to join me in saying out loud the words of our vision statement. Here they are. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. And the vision is how we choose to see the world. The mission are the steps we take to achieve that vision. So if you would say the words of our mission statement with me, please. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. We've been exploring this mission statement in a lot of the classes. It keeps coming back to the classwork that we do as we're engaging in some spiritual education here at Unity of Tucson. And really, I think what we keep finding is that last one, remember who you are, boy, that's a doozy, isn't it? That can be real challenging. Well, if you can't remember who you are, I'm here to remind you. If you are joining us for the first time today, if you are online, I would love to say welcome to you. I'm going to say welcome to you. I'm grateful that you've joined us. And if you would like to continue a connection, please feel free to go to unitytucson.com/connect, and you can fill out some information there, and we will continue this magnificent connection that we've started today. If you are here and joining us in the room for the first time today, well, we have a gift that we would like to offer to you. And so if you are comfortable with identifying yourself by standing up, Ross and or William are going to bring a gift around to you. So is there anyone who's joining us for the first time today? Welcome. Grateful to have you here. Thank you. And if you would please remain standing for just a moment. I'm going to ask you to remain standing for just a moment, because we have not just a physical gift that we would like to give to you, but we have something else that we would like to let you know about. We knew that you were going to be here today. We actually knew that you were going to be here today, and so we decided to do a little bit of research and find out a little bit about you so that we could know who we were meeting as you came to our community today. And this is what we have found out. Is everyone ready? We're going to tell you right now. You are magnificent. Yes, you are. Thank you for joining us. You can be seated. Grateful to have you share your magnificence and shine your light. Hi, guys. It's like the peanut gallery back here. I fear that they might be making faces behind my back. See? Well, the reason that we know about you, that you are magnificent, is because one of the things we teach here is that every single person we encounter is a reflection of that which is inherent within each and every one of us. So I would love for us all to exclaim and claim our own magnificence by saying these words. I am magnificent. How does that feel? All right, sounds about 50-50. And that's okay, you may not be there yet, but my desire is to normalize magnificence and to normalize our understanding of our inherent magnificence. So we're gonna keep going down that road. Would you please welcome today's Keeper of the Flames, here to offer our ritual that we've adopted here at Unity of Tucson, lighting the flames of faith. This is Susan Smith, our licensed Unity teacher. Yes, welcome. And she is here to light these candles. These candles represent faith traditions worldwide. And as we light each one of them, let us understand in our heart that all traditions, all spiritual paths, and all religious ideas are rooted in that common golden thread of pure love.
Thank you, Jonathan. Good morning, everyone. We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to divine love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universal religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony, and for any seekers who may be unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are keeping open for them in our hearts. We light this final candle to represent the healing of any circumstance that requires divinity to be revealed. This is your candle for whatever it is in your mind and heart that requires the light.
Thank you, Susan. The candle here on your left is our peace candle. And we keep the peace candle consistently illuminated with this understanding that it is a representation of the consistent illumination of peace in our hearts, and allowing that inner peace to inform our thoughts, our deeds, our intentions, our actions. We actually create a more peaceful world right where we are. Normally I would say we're going to go right into the prayer, but there's something that came up this week that I want to tell you about. So on Wednesdays, Laura Cass, who's the president of our board of directors, and I have a meeting every week to talk about the state of, you can keep playing, to talk about the state of the center and how we're doing, and just general checkup. And we always bring readings to these experiences, and she brought a reading from a book called Peace Therapy by Carol Ann Morrow. And I thought, I want to introduce this in relationship to the peace candle, because in this reading, she offered this. Disturbing the peace is a crime. When you rant and rave, stomp and fret over life's petty grievances, arrest yourself. Looking at both meanings there. You can't arrest yourself, but stop yourself. You're in charge. So let's honor this peace candle by sharing together the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace begins to reign in the world. We're going off our normally scheduled program for just a moment because we have a special thing to do today. One of the great benefits of being a minister is having the opportunity to have other ministers in our fold and to work together to create a magnificent spiritual center for everybody who walks through these doors, and extending that love beyond these walls as well. And there is a gentleman who has been a member of our center for some time now, has been joining us each Sunday, and I'm going to put it in these terms, he came out of the closet to me. One day he came up and he said, I want you to know I'm a Unity minister. And at that time he said, but I don't want anyone else to know. A week later, whatever it was that was in my talk, he resonated with that, and he came up to me after that service. 1 week later, he said, okay, I'm ready to come out now. And so we've been trying to work out the plan for installing him as a staff minister, and that's what we are going to do right in this moment. Would you please welcome to the platform Reverend William Gill? And so there is a ceremony. If I can turn this on, here we go. There is a ceremony that it's short, I promise. You're not going to be here for 4 hours. Just take a breath. Members of the community of Unity of Tucson, it is my joyous privilege today to officially install as staff minister of this spiritual center, Reverend William Gill. Being duly qualified for such responsibility by having completed Unity's ministerial education program, licensing, and ordination training path, Reverend William consistently demonstrates his understanding of the principles of Unity. His high spiritual consciousness makes him an invaluable asset to our community. His caring and dedication have endeared him to the hearts of many. William attended his first Unity service in the late 1990s in Bellingham, Washington. Following a move to the Phoenix area in 2000, he sought out a Toastmasters club that was meeting at the Unity of Phoenix campus. He ended up not going to the Toastmasters club, but noticing the palpable good energy of the Unity of Phoenix community, he began attending services regularly there. While reading a book, the book was called What Should I Do With My Life?, his call to ministry was illuminated, and he began his studies immediately. After many years of study, he graduated from the Unity Ministerial School in 2007, and he served as senior minister of Unity of Stuart, Florida from 2007 to 2012. Following his time there, he has continued speaking as a guest at various Unity churches across the country. Ministry is a profession in the highest sense. While it is a business requiring management skills and leadership ability, there is something still more to ministry. It is a calling, an inner prompting to serve God, self, and humankind. It is a challenge to live by spiritual principles. And it is a dedication and a consecration to the truth of these principles. It is a commitment to share these principles with others that their lives may be transformed. Our philosophy, our teaching, and our ministry are a ministry of healing and are rooted in these basic principles of unity. God is all there is. It is the infinite energy of love. Human beings are inherently divine. Thoughts and beliefs create the events and experiences of our lives. Affirmative prayer and meditation are the practical tools we teach and use to design these events and experiences. And we choose to live from and activate this spiritual teaching beyond an intellectual understanding. Reverend William, do you accept as your faith the truth expressed in these statements of principle?
Yes, I do.
Will you, to the best of your ability, let these principles continue to guide your life?
Yes, I will.
Will you help all those who come to you to understand the truth that we are immersed in the Spirit of God and that we are of God, that we are one being?
I will.
Do you believe the events, situations, and circumstances that we attract into our experience are the results of that which we think, feel, and imagine, and that the person who embodies what they want to attract, regardless of what appears, will eventually experience in the outer realm what they have so faithfully seen in the inner realm?
I do.
William, you have dedicated yourself to live and teach these principles of truth. Your affirmation of faith makes all of us aware that the presence which is God is manifest in each of us. Your friends, licensed Unity teachers, and fellow ministers rejoice that you have entered upon this path of service. And we know that the light of truth will always guide you, and that the presence of God will always sustain your ministry of loving service. I charge you, Reverend William Gill, as you progress as staff minister of this church, to remain steadfast and unwavering, to know that divine principle is the only power, to know that the presence of God will strengthen and sustain you, and to know that the one mind will inspire your loving, consecrated service. Will you keep this charge to the best of your ability to do so?
Yes, I will.
If you are able, will the members of this church please stand? I charge you, members and friends of this church, to help Reverend William, to honor Reverend William, and to support Reverend William with your prayers, with your dedication, and with your love. Will you keep this charge to the best of your ability to do so? Thank you. You may be seated. I affirm it is the will and desire of this church that Reverend William Gill be installed as staff minister. Reverend William, acting upon the authority vested in me as a senior minister of Unity of Tucson, I hereby install you as staff minister. I present to you your new staff minister, the Reverend William Gill. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I just want to acknowledge something. It is traditional that when you install a minister that they usually have an opportunity to speak. That's not happening today. And there's a reason for that. Many of you know that I'm actually taking a vacation, and I will not be here next Sunday, so you will have the benefit of Reverend William Gill next week for the full service. Thank you. And now, with a reading, our affirmation, and to lead us in prayer, will you please welcome Ruth Starwell to the platform.
Good morning and welcome, everyone. This morning's reading I chose from The Eye of the Storm, Embracing Conflict, Creating Peace. This was written by Unity Minister Gary Simmons. Change is a part of life and the natural order of things. According to the I Ching, an ancient Chinese text believed to be one of the oldest literary works, change is never-ending and proceeds according to certain universal and observable rules. The I Ching, or Book of Changes, was one of the first successes in ancient humanity's attempts to find the laws that regulate all phenomenon. All events and relationships have their origin in the interaction of two opposite, yet complementary forces, yin and yang. This binary system of mapping the ebb and flow of the creative influences in life became a method of understanding the laws of nature and the way that humanity could attain harmony with all life. These two poles, yin and yang, and their interaction are the substance of the phenomenal universe. Whatever name we apply to these forces, matter, an energy, particle, wave, their relationship is not static, but typified by the constant movement of shifting power. To the Taoists, nothing exists in itself, but only in relation to something else. The universe is literally a dance of seeming polar opposites, blending, shifting, becoming, transforming in a cosmic sea of potentiality and infinite possibilities. And while the force of attraction and repulsion push and pull as dance partners, there is an underlying synergy, that is unity, that brings order to all things under heaven. And so now for this month's affirmation, I will read it first and invite you just to take it in and see how that settles for you. And then I'll invite you to read it two more times along with me. This month's affirmation. I am infinitely and intimately attuned to the well-ordered source of all that is. And with me. I am infinitely and intimately attuned to the well-ordered source of all that is. And again, I am infinitely and intimately attuned to the well-ordered source of all that is.
Let's take a moment to settle our minds into the awareness of that well-ordered source. The infinite nature that we find rooted gloriously in the stillness.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know.
So I invite you into prayer, joining with me in that still space. The space within, deep within, the rock, the ground of being still, being fully supported in the I am. And so resting in that place of love, that infinite source of good that is there for us, for me, for each one of us, every moment, this moment, the next moment. And so knowing that I am grounded, supported, loved, sustained. And I know this is true for our community, Unity of Tucson. That this community is held in the arms of God, held in the arms of love. That it is sustained and nurtured and thriving. And I'm so grateful for each and every one here this morning, each and every one watching online, each and every one who is present to that God self within and present to that ever-changing nature that expresses beautifully as each one individualized expression of the I am. I'm so grateful for this time of prayer, so grateful for this community, so grateful for the knowing of the one source, that infinite and intimate source of all that is. And resting in that, I simply allow all to be present, to be good, to be guided, to be well. And so it is.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still and know.
Thank you. And thank you. I had some people reach out this week saying, hey, you know what the date is on Sunday, right? I said, yeah, I know what the date is on Sunday. Are you going to address it? I said, yes, in my own way. This is a song I've been singing for a long time, and I am so grateful to have the musical talents of Alexander Lionheart and Charlie Hall to help sing this song today, because it was originally written for a trio of male voices. But this is a song that was written as a response to what happened on 9/11/2001. Gentlemen?
From a mansion in Virginia, on a mountain in Peru, from a tent out in the desert, 3 days ride from Kathmandu, for a baby with a fever, or a teen that's run away. If you're looking for salvation, or just looking for a better day.
From a beggar in Calcutta, or an Ethiopian king, from a temple in Korea, where a monk begins to sing, from a church that burned in Georgia, or a sailor lost at sea. Doesn't matter where it comes from,
Doesn't matter if it's you or me.
in any tongue, in any color, in any word, in any name.
When we close our eyes in silence, we all pray the same.
No matter what we call it, no matter where we aim, when we lift our hearts together,
We all pray the same. From a pilgrim face in Mecca, or a rabbi in Berlin, from a shaman in the jungle, symbols painted on his skin, for a young bride to be fruitful, or a battle to be won, to the skies for rain in August, to find grace through Mary's Son. Oh, yes, we have our differences,
and yes, we have a choice.
but when we look beneath the skin, we find we're all one voice. One voice. From the man who plays piano,
To the boy who beats the drums,
to the girl who sings the melody, or a baby who just hums, when you put it all together, you will hear a symphony, all the voices singing loudly in a prayer of harmony. Harmony. In any tongue, in any color, in any word, in any name. When we close our eyes in silence, we all pray the same. No matter what we call it, no matter where we aim, when we lift our hearts together, we all pray the same. In any tongue, in any color, in any word, in any name. When we close our eyes in silence, we all pray the same. No matter what we call it, no matter where we aim, when we lift our hearts together, we all pray the same. When we close our eyes in silence, we all pray the same.
Charlie Hall, Alexander Lionheart. God, I love great 3-part harmony. I love really good, like 5-part harmony too. I love really odd music. And I love really lyrical, glorious music. This is the second time that I was going to say November 11th, that September 11th has fallen on a Sunday since that particular Tuesday in 2001. And I don't want to get us lost in the grief that many of us probably still feel. I mean, I still go through waves of grief around the events of that particular day. But there was something that came across my desk that is related to it that I wanted to read to you. And this is from Minister Reverend Angelica Taggart. And she wrote this. She wrote, back in the early 90s, remember that? Back in the early 90s, there was a sitcom on TV called Dinosaurs. They talked about important issues with humor. In one program, the 2-legged dinosaurs and the 4-legged dinosaurs were fighting over the rights to a particular pistachio orchard. One side started carrying signs that read, "We are right." There was one of them who was painting the signs and got tired of writing all of that out, so they just started putting the initials WAR. Flash forward to Tuesday, September 11th, 2001. No matter where we were or what we were doing, unless you're too young to remember, which is also something that I deal with now, we all remember that date. It was the day that the universe, as we knew it, toppled. Chaos reared its ugly head and smiled a horrific grin, and all hell broke loose. A reactive mode set in with a vengeance, one whose effects we are still experiencing today. Our world changed in an instant, all because someone, somewhere, thought that they were right, and everyone else was wrong. Today, I invite you to honor those who lost their lives on 9/11 and those that are still suffering the effects, whether physical, mental, or emotional, by examining your life to see where you are stuck in "we are right." It could be an issue with a neighbor, a boss, a spouse, or even someone that's not in your life any longer. Whoever it is, you will know by the energy you feel in your body when you think about them. It's time to give those people safe passage through your mind and heart. One of the things that event caused was a deeper resonance with what it means to be in common unity, which is where we get the word community. To understand common unity in a more expansive way. You know, community implies a reliance on one another. None of us are in this alone. Not a single one of us is in this thing called life alone. But sometimes it feels like that, doesn't it? And sometimes we act like that, don't we? But none of us are in this alone. We have our spiritual family, we have our families of choice, we have our biological families, we have people around us who are here to experience this thing called life in common unity. And the more we engage in a consciousness of cooperation as opposed to a consciousness of competition, the more we are changing this world for the better. And that consciousness of cooperation, frankly, is how I choose to, or how I endeavor to live my life at all times. We must constantly choose over and over and over to remember this, though. It is a consistent practice to remember this. Last week, I talked a lot about cosmos and chaos. as we explore the theme this month of the power of order. And I expressed that the construct of cosmos means the well-ordered universe. And chaos is the not synonym, the antonym. I was like, it's not synonym. Chaos is the antonym of cosmos. But chaos is all in perception. So we perceive chaos even though the universe in and of itself is fundamentally a well-ordered whole. In this seeming chaos, change is the one thing that is constant. And change, however small, always means that the result to us in our limited capacity of understanding will always be unpredictable. So stop trying to predict the future is part of the message today. And let us commit in this moment to live in the moment, because this is where the power is. We have a tendency to look at the conditions of our lives, the circumstances of our life. We have a tendency to look at the phenomenon of our life and look at that and say, that provides the proof of my spiritual nature, all that stuff out there. It does not. While it is a reflection of your spiritual nature, it is not the proof of your spiritual nature. So here's the thing. I think we must collectively stop asking ourselves the question, is life good? And then look at all the things in our life to determine whether or not life is good. Because I guarantee you, you are going to find those things which contradict the very statement, life is good. I think we need to stop looking at the stuff out there to prove to us the question, am I loved? And find that inner love that is within each and every one of us so that we are absolutely attracting that into our experience. Stop looking out there for it. It is right where you are. I think we need to stop asking the question, does my life have value? And then look out there to prove or disprove our value. You are valuable simply because you exist, because you experience this thing called life. That makes you valuable. Can you get behind that? Yeah. And the rest of you? Yeah. That's my new joke. I'm going to go to it every week. Here's the thing, at what point are we going to decide to stop looking for proof out there and start living as the example of these things? If we look out there or depend on any condition out there, we are actively stepping into chaos. We're actively doing that, whether we're aware of it or not. Many of us are doing it below the level of awareness. So I'm going to invite you to recognize now, to step into the practice of awareness, to see when you are doing it, so that as you do it, you can say, wait a second, no, stop, I am not doing this again. Because a lot of this also is the reliance we have on our mental habits that keep providing the experience of chaos. But as long as we keep looking out there, trying to deal with the conditions or the effects of our lives, as opposed to understanding that we are the cause, we are the mind action, we are the light, the life, and the power of this thing called God, the more we're looking out there, the more chaos we create. So today, take a breath and say, I am here. Say it, I am here. I am here. I am here. And there is no other place you need to be, ever. Be right where you are, right in your heart. So yeah, we do this all the time, don't we? We look to those things out there. And then you know what we do? We say, oh, everything out there is messed up. And so we start flagellating ourselves. Oh my gosh, look at what I created. How horrible. Do you know what that is? I'm flagellating myself. Many people will not get that. We start doing this, we go into this habit of beating ourselves up for the stuff that we think we've created. And today, the answer to that I'm going to offer you is LYOTH. What? The best way to address, I'm going to get to it, I promise. The best way to address the chaos we create and to address it head on is LYOTH. And all of this is done entirely in mind. There's a concept in feng shui called passive chaos. And that is the building up and stagnation of energy. And usually you're trying to, in feng shui, to not allow any passive chaos to build up. But we do this in our minds. We allow this passive chaos to build up in our minds, right? We tend to proceed with a false understanding that we need things in life. And so we start accumulating these things, physical things and mental things. We accumulate these mental ideas, and we end up creating passive chaos in our minds. And today, I'm going to say, throw it out. Throw out what is not serving you. Aligning with the stuff out there and letting it become passive chaos within keeps us limited. And the answer to this, LYOTH. LYOTH. We make decisions based on what will maintain the status quo in our lives. Don't we? I do. I do it a lot less now than I used to. Because here's what I found is that as I was maintaining the status quo of my life, it wasn't always the kind of life that I wanted to maintain. But it felt so comfortable to wrap myself up in that status quo and keep it in my heart and in my mind, because the thought of breaking down that which I have constructed was a lot scarier than staying wrapped up in that comfort zone. LYOTH. So we make these decisions that will maintain the status quo, but we forget that we are the nature and the power of infinite creation. So why do we hold on to these things? To shake the passive chaos off? LYOTH. LYOTH, and make a new decision. LYOTH, and make a new decision. What if you could guarantee, this is a good question, what if you could guarantee that the decisions you made in your life were never, ever, ever the wrong decisions? Wow, I love that, Dawn, thank you. Wow. What would that be like? What if you could never make a wrong decision ever? Today, I have good news for you. The good news is this: you can never make a wrong choice. You can never make a bad decision. Do you believe that? Yes. And the rest of you? Here's why. If you are willing to understand that you were always, always, always at choice, then what seems like a bad decision is an awakening to an opportunity to make another decision. So you can never make a bad decision. You can never make a wrong decision. All you can do is continue to make decisions and be illuminated into what is next. And so if you feel like you have made a bad decision, LYOTH. It's a requirement for us to engage in LYOTH sometimes. And now I'm going to tell you what LYOTH means. Let yourself off the hook. We love to beat ourselves up for all these things. And I'm going to tell you today, let yourself off the hook. Here's the challenge. Only you can do it. No one else can do it for you. Only you can let yourself off the hook. Now, you can seek out spiritual counsel, but you're going to probably hear from me, let yourself off the hook. You're beating yourself up, and you're the one in charge of that. So LYOTH, let yourself off the hook. That's what today is all about. When we let ourselves off the hook, we allow ourselves to come into alignment with cosmos, with that well-ordered wholeness. That is our nature, to be expressed as well-ordered wholeness. Every decision, every choice you make is the right and proper choice for that moment. And once the moment is complete, you are free to make a new choice. And if you keep holding on to choices that don't work, LYOTH, let yourself off the hook. You are at liberty to change your mind if you need to. One of the things that I love about New Thought as a spiritual philosophy, and this is consistent across all paths in New Thought, but I think that Charles Fillmore articulated it wonderfully. when he said, I reserve the right to change my mind. I think it's a really important thing to understand that we should all reserve the right to change our mind, to have the willingness to look life and the experiences of our life square in the face and say, this is not what I would like to experience. I am letting myself off the hook and I am stepping into a new direction. I reserve the right to change my mind. The transformation of our minds is our responsibility and no one else's. And nobody ever wants to hear that. Oh, you mean I have to work at this stuff? Yes. Doesn't mean it has to be hard work. Just has to be committed, faithful work. But it is our responsibility to change our minds and thereby change the construct and experience of our lives. Free yourself forever from the idea that you can make bad decisions. You cannot. You absolutely cannot. Eric Butterworth offered this. There is no decision to be made, only a direction to discover. And so if you ever feel like you have made a bad decision, don't consider it a decision. Consider it an opportunity for discovery. And allow yourself to be pointed in the direction of your highest good, the good that is rooted as infinite life, as infinite light, as infinite love, because that is the core of who you are. The greatest gift of our experience of this thing called life is the capacity for self-determination. That is a gift that we get to experience in every moment, to make choices in every moment. So let yourself off the hook for the things you may be holding on to and decide perhaps today to determine a new path and let your infinite potential be unleashed as never before. Peace and blessings. You are magnificent. So the homework this week, and I will remind or let those who are new to our community know that I do give homework every week as an offering to make this a practical path engaging spirituality. So the homework this week is I would like you to do something new every single day. And that new thing that I want you to do, I think, should activate your innate joy. Every day. I do mean every day. Do something new every single day that activates your innate joy. Decide to release everything that doesn't serve you or that you may still be holding on to. Sound like a good plan this week? Yes. Awesome. I'm going to invite you to relax right where you are. Allow yourself to perhaps connect with some kernel of truth that may have sparked in you today, some illumination. Let it be fully present in your mind and in your heart right here and right now, as we surrender to the good, to the innate God that is the core of our being.
Surrender, let it go. Surrender, let it all go. All the fear, all the doubt, all the pain, all the wounds, feelings of being alone. Surrender, let it go. Right in this moment, I acknowledge and affirm that there is magnificence at hand. For there is only one infinite power and presence. There is only one principle of all creation. There is one energy. There is one light. There is one life. There is one pure, loving essence. There is God and nothing else. I choose to understand and invite everyone into this understanding that there is that God essence that is the identity of each and every one of us, that we are that power, we are that presence, that there is no aspect of our spiritual or physical presence that is not wholly divine. And as we acknowledge and remember who we are in every moment, we are opened up to a magnificent opportunity to let ourselves off the hook for all the things we think we may have done wrong. For there is no wrong. There is only that which illuminates the path ahead. And so I acknowledge this and welcome this understanding in my heart here and now, and encourage and invite every single one of us to make the same acknowledgement as we allow appreciation and gratitude to open ourselves. Let us release any limited sense of outcome and open up to the wholeness, knowing we are here and all is well. And so it is. Amen. Don't you know God is here? 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 Let it all go. Open your heart, invite in the light. Open your mind, surrender. Let it go. Let it all go. Surrender the doubts and the fears. Let it go.
As we take a breath, I would like you to welcome William Summers, the Vice President of our Board of Directors, to the platform. Yes, we can do that. Welcome, William.
Thank you. I had the most amazing experience yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah, I attended a membership class for people who wanted to become members of Unity of Tucson, and it was just incredible. I wish you could have been there. It was like,
I know, it's a shame I wasn't,
yeah.
but I really was.
No, he actually taught it. What was so amazing about this class and what touched me so much, and it's so wonderful to see so many of the people out there that were in the class, is not only were the people out there learning about Unity and what it takes to become a member, but I was also learning. Actually, I was remembering. I was remembering what it was like before I walked in here, right? You know, before I was a new thought, I was in traditional religion, and it just wasn't working for me, and I was searching and searching for someplace where I fit in. And the word I heard over and over and over again yesterday was, I'm home. I heard so many people mention that yesterday. And that just reminded me, this is my family. This is my home. Every Sunday, I get to spend time at my home with my family. When the basket comes around, please remember to take care of your home. Thank you.
Thank you, William. I invite you to take out whatever it is you're offering Unity of Tucson today in terms of a contribution, and let's hold it to our hearts. And there are many ways that you can give. You can give electronically, and so if that is your preference, there are cards in the back of the seats that you can use to indicate this, but hold that to your heart right here and right now, and let us share together this givingness statement. I share this gift with love, conscious of the inner presence as the lavish source and substance of my supply. I am rooted in the assurance that this gift blesses Unity of Tucson, and I trust in its ever-present circulation, knowing its blessings return to me. And so it is. So feel free to stand and move your body as the baskets go around and we sing our giving song.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful.
Thank you. As the baskets make their way towards the front of the room, Deborah Walker, one of our prayer chaplains, is going to offer a blessing.
Good morning. So let us just take in a nice, long, very loving, deep breath as we gather and receive these magnificent gifts. It is with gratitude overflowing that we participate in the circulation. And I affirm that these funds, as they move forward and move through our church, bless us and bless the world in return. And so it is. Amen.
So it is. Amen. Thank you very much, Deborah. And thank you, gentlemen. A couple of things to let you know about, of course. We do have a handful of tickets still available to join us for our dinner gala and silent auction, which we are having on September 30th. It's coming up. We're in September now. It's only, what is that? I'm not going to do the math. But join us on September 30th. The other thing to let you know is we are still collecting items for the silent auction. So if you have something or know of someone who's willing to donate an item to our auction, we are still collecting that. Just reach out to the office and we will put you in touch with how to make that unfold for you. There's a journaling workshop that's coming up. Yay! It's called Write What You Live, an intuitive journaling workshop. It will be held on October 8th from 2 to 5 p.m. If you are interested, you can contact Waverly Farrell at that email address, but you can also speak to Waverly because she's sitting right here in the front row. And so if you'd like to know more about that, please talk to Waverly. Delighted to have you offer that to us. Just as a reminder, we do have potluck today, a shared meal experience following the celebration. So when you're complete and we've said hello at the door, if you turn to your right, you can go right into Harmony Hall, and we're all set up and ready for you there. Just as a reminder, if you didn't see the note, we do try to separate allergen table and non-allergen table, if that makes sense. So just be aware that there is a separation and to just be conscious of your to be conscious to not cross-contaminate, we call it. I don't really like that word, but don't cross-pollinate the allergens. Don't mess it up. I want to say to you also that our prayer chaplains on duty today are Ruth Starwell and Deborah Walker, both of whom you've seen up here. There's Deborah and Ruth is there. They will make themselves available to you for a few moments of prayer on either side of the sanctuary, about halfway down the middle. So if you would like to have a moment of prayer, you can seek one of them out following the service. You can also fill out a prayer intention form. I remembered to not say request. We're changing request to intention. So it is a prayer intention form that you can put into our prayer intention box in the lobby. If you would like to submit a prayer intention online, you can do that at our website or by sending an email to prayer@unitytucson.com. We have a magnificent prayer team who are here to support you. One of the things I want to let you know is the prayers that we receive all are prayed upon by our team here, and then they are also submitted then to Silent Unity, Unity's prayer ministry. So you've got a world of people working on your behalf in prayer. I want to say thank you to everybody who made today possible. I want to say thank you to everybody who helped set up the potluck, because that is quite a job. So, and I know that they're all in there now, but let's give them a round of applause so that they can hear it. Yes. Let's give our great gratitude to William and Don and Rowan, our tech team in the back. Thank you for your service. I would like to say thank you to our prayer chaplains on duty. I want to say thank you for that magnificent meditation. Deborah Walker, who led the meditation at 9:30 this morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Ruth Starwell for your magnificent reading, affirmation, and your prayer as well. Thank you for that. Yes. Thank you to Susan Smith, our licensed Unity teacher today, for keeping the flames lit and lighting the flames of faith. Let us give it up a magnificent welcome and gratitude to Reverend William Gill. Thank you to William for being our board member on duty today. And let's, of course, thank this magnificent music team, Linda Ackerman, Joshua Carruthers, Raphael Carruthers. So grateful that we get to play every single week. Yes, yes. And our magnificent musical guests, Charlie Hall and Alexander Lionheart. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for making your presence known here, not just here at Unity of Tucson, but in this thing called life. You are magnificent, and I never, ever, ever, ever will take that for granted. It looks like we have some young people walking through the door. Grateful for our youth team as well. Are you guys coming up on stage? Yes, we are. They're coming up on stage, okay. Come on up. They're probably gonna let us know what they were doing today. It looks very interesting. Were you fishing today? Yes. So Chris Paxton is the manager of our Youth and Family Services, our ministry. Come on up. And I am very interested to know what it is that you are bringing in, that you've created today. Yeah, you just take the shortest route, the shortest distance between any 2 points is a straight line. There we go. So who's gonna tell me what you did today?
What did we fish for?
What did you fish for today?
Compliments.
Compliments? Power words. Okay. And what kind of power words did you catch today?
I catched love.
You catched love? How wonderful. What did you catch? It looks like you caught fun. Wonderful. What did you catch? Nice. And what did you catch? It looks you caught happiness. Those are some great things to catch. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. Are you going to stay up here and dance on the last song with me?
You want to dance with me?
You want to dance with me? As we complete our time here, let us share together this prayer of divine awareness. I am infinite light. I am infinite love. I am infinite power. I am infinite presence. Wherever God is, I am. Wherever I am, God is. And so it is. Amen. Feel free to dance on this closing song. Well, it's an idea whose time has come. A new generation decides as one. Of the same small planet we are born. It's never been so obvious before. We breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air. I think we ought to get along better, you and I.
The future of history is crystal clear. The borders between us will disappear.
Of the same planet we are born. There's no foreign country anymore.
We
Breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky. We breathe the same air,
and I think we ought to
get along better, you and I. the same earth, kiss the same sky, we breathe the same air, and I think we oughta get along better. You and I, we breathe the same air, drink the same water, walk the same earth, kiss the same sky, we breathe the same air, and I think we oughta get along better. You and I, we breathe the same air, we breathe the same air, breathe the same air, we breathe the same air.
Make it a magnificent week, everyone. Namaste.